Hello, YouTube. It is Zector, back with another Rocket League replay analysis video. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be looking at some 2v2 games from ZEN. I am going to be thoroughly dissecting his gameplay, picking apart every single thing that he does well as some things that could be better. But ultimately, this video will give you all of the knowledge you need in order to play better in your next 2's game. Not much else to say. Let's just get right into the video. All right, getting into this replay. This is ZEN, Smashy, Oski, and Nugget. I have not watched any recent ZEN 2's replays, so this is a fresh look for me. Forewarning, I'm going to pause a lot. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to make sure we get all of the information from this game. Right here, I like what ZEN's doing. He's not immediately dodging back in this situation because he can tell that Smashy still has a reasonable offensive option here. Like, Smashy could still get past Nugget, and if Smashy is able to get past Nugget, what ZEN is going to be able to do is play this lane here up into this space, right? Now, keep in mind, ZEN is not going to be able to be sustainable in this space because of the amount of boost he has, so he's going to be a lot quicker to just immediately dip out if something goes bad here. I mean, Oski probably going to secure this boost. Smashy can't be sustainable even if he does get this beat, so it'll probably be an Oski that comes out, but ZEN can easily just lane out here, so that would be completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. That is an option, and that's a really good thing to be looking for. You want to provide yourself with offensive and defensive options as much as possible. That is incredibly important. We can see as soon as ZEN notices that that doesn't happen, though, he immediately dips out here, grabs this boost, probably going to turn in here. Nugget doesn't have control of the ball. This is really, really important to know in this situation. And I feel like this is something a lot of people miss out, which is why they have bad challenges, okay? It would be really bad if ZEN didn't go here. A lot of people may look at this and be like, they don't know if they should go or not. You should absolutely go in this situation every single time. If you know that your opponent doesn't have a lot of control over the ball and you have a teammate so close to coming back, it is really, really beneficial to go. And it's not only beneficial to go just to immediately get rid of this threat on your net, but also to force something beneficial for your teammate, right? Because you could provide your teammate a lot of support options in this situation. If Nugget were to come into ZEN, ZEN gets, you know, whatever beat that's either going to go out this way, maybe it goes up and straight down, in which case a Smashy can get it. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of different things that could come out from ZEN challenging a Nugget here. That's going to be really good for his team. So I already know ZEN is 100% going to challenge. He does. This is really, really well played so far. I really like how he's playing. This is big. Pay attention, right? Momentum control. And now I'm gonna make a video at some point on the triad of your mechanics. So, you know, aerial car control, ground car control, dodge control. Momentum sits in the middle of all of those, though. No matter what you do in this game, you will always be using momentum. It is a very core mechanic in your gameplay. So what we can see immediately, ZEN already knows he has enough momentum. Look at that disengagement of boost. He doesn't need to continue that boosting any longer because he's aware of how much momentum he has. He knows how far that momentum is going to carry him, and he knows what little adjustments he needs to make. We can see already he's making those small adjustments here. Let's look at this real time real quick. Goes up, starts getting that momentum, knows this is a really good area, immediately doing a small amount of adjustments, right? So he puts his momentum in a general area of the ball, and then he makes adjustments afterwards, which is how you typically do things. Now, you can do this process sooner. It doesn't necessarily have to be after that you do adjustments. You could absolutely do them during or even before, right? That's definitely possible. In this situation, it happens after, and that's because there's not many prior adjustments that needed to take place. So really, really well played here. Definitely going to get a good touch. I like this. Ooh, this is a really good idea. What we need to immediately notice as we get on the ground in this situation is this pocket of space. ZEN recognizes this pocket of space. ZEN recognizes that there's an Oski sitting kind of deep into his corner here, a little bit out of position. If you come up and do one of these very powerful side dodges here, it could slingshot the fucking ball, right? But let's say that Oski was here instead. How could have ZEN changed this up? Well, ZEN can immediately either play a 50, which is going to allow his teammate Smashy to come up and play supportive options. He could try and bang high. You know, Oski could absolutely get up connector here. This is connector for new viewers. Connects backball. What the fuck? It connects backboard and corner here. So really, really good area. But, you know, Zen could play up there. Oski may be able to take, but, you know, or Zen could just go for a flick. There's a lot of different options that could happen here. None of them are kind of conclusive, but those are some of the things that could happen if you want to kind of compare them to what options you had in your head. But this is really well played by Zen. I like this a lot. That's really good. He's going to immediately try to secure this boost over in the corner, which is a good idea. We can tell he gets demoed, but I don't disagree with his decision making here. That would have been a very strong boost grab. We obviously want to reduce the other team's boost economy as often as possible. Immediately coming up into the space, he wants to occupy as much as possible, but he wants to gauge distance between him and Oski, and he wants to gauge threat. Immediately, a lot of people, I feel like, can already tell this is kind of right? So we don't want to push too far into the space, but we do want to try and secure some value. So it already looks like, yeah, so he ends up securing this boost here, and notice this slow that he does. This is a really good slow for a couple of different reasons. It's a good slow because he's setting his momentum, right? So he's resetting his momentum. He's setting his feet, so to speak. And this is going to allow him to have a very efficient jump, devoid of a lot of unnecessary momentum, right? Which is already going to be really good. And secondly, that was just a really good position to be in. I talk about this a lot, but a lot of players have this misconception that they always need to be traveling fast, but you can tell doing these slows is really, really important, especially when you're already in a really good position. In this position that Zen slowed himself down in, he can cover literally all options that Oski has. Even if Oski wanted to take a touch, you know, and catch the ball, which is unlikely in this situation. Most players are going to take it into the air here. Zen could still be able to zone him, play him appropriately. If Oski were to go in the air, Zen is still in a really good position, could zone him, play it appropriately. This is really well played so far. I like this. We can already tell Zen doing a really, really good read here. We can tell Oski was using a lot of momentum here in order to get up. So Zen already knew to go a little bit higher. We could see him boosting higher in that situation to get that read. This is really well played. I like that a lot. Nothing wrong with that. Immediately probably going to play a bit slow here. Smashy, this is just like the earlier situation where Zen is kind of playing two options here, which is another reason I encourage players to slow down. I'm actually, you know, I'm glad to see that Zen is doing this. I don't see many players doing this. You know, I've talked about these concepts for a very long time now. But just recently, it feels like players have really started implementing them, which is definitely a good thing. Not to yap too much, but anyway, this is good because once again, he can either go back for this defensive option, because this is kind of risky immediately off a rip, but I can imagine that Zen plays somewhere in this position here, because this could be favorable out from Smashy, and Zen could easily come up and maybe get a goal out of it. So, and you can see that's exactly what he does here, which is really, really well played, but he could have gone back too in that situation. I feel like some players in this situation might have even just fully considered going back, right? But you want to try and anchor when you can. You want to try to play some of these situations a little bit risky. Risk is not terrible in this game in the correct amounts. Like sometimes it's okay to do something a bit more risky because you could get a better like payoff from it, which is good. We can see in the situation Zen able to come in. Not able to get what he wants here, but that's fine. He's able to do that because he has a Smashy back, because it's not incredibly risky for him to be able to do this. Now, maybe if a Smashy was still in the middle of recovery, or his teammate, you know, had lower boost amounts, maybe he plays that situation a little bit differently. Maybe he still ultimately ends up going, which is okay, but he might execute on it differently, which would be really good. I like what's going on here. This is just basic, just going back. Nothing wrong with this at all. Nothing to note here. He's playing this a little bit faster because, you know, he's looking at Nugget and Smashy, trying to understand what exactly could come out in this situation. And I think a lot of players could look at this and be like, oh, okay, this is probably not going to shoot out too much. Even if it shoots into the corner in this situation, you know, Zen would be able to deal with it. He'd be able to deal with this. He'd be able to deal with this. You know, he pushes himself up here, which limits some of these options, but it doesn't matter because he's still playing this incredibly appropriately here, because Nugget can't even do anything on the ball here, and that's something you can see in this position, and that's something you should be noticing. A lot of players too focus on the ball, focus on other players' cars at times. There's a lot of information that they will give you. So like coming into this situation, right? In this situation, as soon as we see this, Nugget's fucking awkward as hell, right? And that's something that you should see here. I think some players would have immediately just went for the ball, autopilot it, hit it off the right wall into mid. Oski gets the ball, plays a solo against Smash. I mean, it's probably not going to end up in a goal necessarily, but it definitely is not. It could go bad, right? But I like how Zen's playing this. We can immediately tell Zen's trying to go into mid here. Probably going to play a high solo play into mid. This is really good. Don't want to take it wall. Waste a little bit of time and resources taking it into the wall. Even if you take a small touch up wall, jump up wall, take ball off wall, at that point you've used 30-40 boost. You've allowed Oski and Nugget to get in better positions. Nugget will have a better angle here, so not ideal in this situation. I don't like Nugget going for this. You know, I think cuts are really good in twos, but Nugget has a really bad angle. I would have preferred an Oski went, but this is not terrible. Nugget could just play high, but Oski jumped, so this is really bad. Zen playing this really, really fast. That's why I don't like a Nugget going there. Nugget did this weird, like, you know, we'll look at this real quick, right? Don't do this, okay? Absolutely do not do that ever, okay? You need to find yourself in a better angle. You can't just back up into it. That's not going to be, yeah, no, this is a goal. Yeah, no, that was just poorly played by blue team, but really well played by Zen. I mean, he took advantage of all the mistakes they were making in that situation, and he capitalized on them, and his teammate was in a really good position, so I like that. This is good. This is just 2 1v1s. Twos is pretty much just cycling 1v1s with a support player at times, so Zen can easily just take this boost. That secures a lot of this area here. Nugget can't immediately go for this boost, so he's going to be butt naked in this situation if Smashy pushes him into it, or if Splashy, if Smashy flicks the ball here and Nugget tries to offset here, he can't also immediately secure this boost. So this is really well played. I like this a lot, and by cycling 1v1s, an example, Smashy and Nugget are in a 1v1 now. Now Zen and Nugget are in a 1v1, right? And now Smashy and Oski are in a 1v1, but kind of like a support role 1v1 almost. Zen, yeah, probably going to get demoed. And that situation does get demoed. Should end up fine. Zen taking a breather on the field. Zen plays this appropriately. I like this. This is a good distance. You know, typically... okay. But yeah, no, that was a good distance. He had a lot of options in that situation, so pushing in there is not terrible. Probably goes instant. There's an Oski right next to him. If you have a player like right next to you at any time, literally just pop the ball high, to be honest. It's a lot better than just assuming like, oh, maybe they don't go here, or oh my god, they're so stupid because they went. Like, no, dude, just pop the ball high, because if the ball gets past you here, it could not be good. Or at the very least, it's going to reduce a lot of offensive options for your team, which is going to reduce pressure a lot. I like what Zen did here. Try to pressure that full boost. If we would have gotten that before an Oski, that could have been really favorable, especially if Smashy gets something offensive here. They're going to be able to take that space and be pretty sustainable in it. I like this. You can tell this immediate decision from Zen. As soon as Oski, or as soon as Nugget messes this up, Zen doesn't want to do anything but secure this boost from Nugget. If Nugget gets this boost, Nugget's going to be able to not only bully them from back, like he's going to be able to add back pressure, because he's going to be able to go for demos. He's going to be able to go for off-ball value, you know, all bumps and stuff. He's also going to be able to cut a lot more effectively pretty much at any time. He's going to be a lot more sustainable if this gets past Smashy. Like, if this gets past Smashy, if Oski gets past Smashy, Nugget could literally just cut through mid, or Nugget could literally just go for a demo immediately. So this is really good. I like this. You can tell Nugget's going to have to pad in middle here. Like, Nugget has to pad middle here. I guarantee that it happens, because that's just the appropriate play, especially with his teammate doing what he's doing right now. It's really good. I like this. Once again, I've said this many times, you don't always have to move forward, right? And I'm not saying that him moving backward here is good. That's not the point I'm focused on here. I'm focused more on the concept that he knows he's in a pretty good position, so he doesn't need to deviate too much out of it. And you can tell all he does is back up a little bit, gives him a little bit more of his options. He can tell Oski's not doing shit here, but Oski could still have something, but he doesn't want to go because of that. I see some players just go for shit like this, especially NA players. Let's play it like real time, but in a situation like this, whenever I see players, I just see them jumping for stuff like that. But you know, Oski doesn't really have shit here. Oski is not threatening. Even if Oski pops high, we're gonna have a Smashy up there. We're gonna have a Zen that's able to play on the ball, has a lot of resources. We can see Smashy grab that boost. Smashy not gonna get a good touch here. Smashy does have options here, but we can see he didn't get a good touch. This is an important thing to note in this situation. So what my eyes are looking at here, and what everyone's eyes should be looking at here, as soon as this pops out, everyone should be looking at Smashy going all the way up the ball, wall or up the corner. If your eyes weren't on Smashy that entire time, you're looking at the wrong stuff in your games. Okay, in this situation, as soon as this ball comes out right here, that ball is not going to deviate from that path of the natural physics of the game without anyone else influencing it. It's going to continue following that path, affected by all of the physics in the game engine. Okay, the only thing that can make that ball move any different is Smashy. So as soon as you see the initial trajectory of the ball, right, especially if it's moving slow like this, you want to be paying attention to more important information, like not the ball, but the player that's going to next influence the ball. So looking up here, we can see Smashy already got something really awkward if we're paying attention to him, and that's going to be really helpful information. I like what Zen's doing here. Zen doesn't have to move. I fucking love this. Some players in this situation, they're doing this awful circle where they're like, push forward and then push back and then push back forward. This is awful. If you're doing this, fix it. This should never happen, okay? You can literally fucking sit still. Like, you literally can just sit still. I've heard some coaches and some people say that you should never sit still. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. It makes absolutely no sense, okay? If anything, you can see significantly more examples of why going really, really, really fast is a lot worse than just sitting still. But yeah, no, he's in a good position. He doesn't have to move, right? And so he's going to be favorable here. I don't like him going up the wall here. What we can immediately tell, there's a lane, a Nugget Oski lane in this situation. Zen could have played this a little bit better here. So I like all of this. This is all really good, but he should have let Smashy play this in the corner. He should, like, Smashy can still be actionable in the ball, so there's no need for him to press up like this. But what if he did this instead? You can see this is immediately more beneficial because not only is he going to already be grounded, so he can immediately deviate and try and get Nugget, but he can also cover this lane a lot better. It wouldn't surprise me if this makes him a little awkward. It does make him a little awkward. Now, he gets out of it, but that's only due to the incompetence of the other team. Oski very clearly had an offensive opportunity that he just missed out on. But Zen probably going to take... ooh, he's going to try and cut here. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Ooh, this play is really, really nice. So let's go ahead and break this down. I talk about this a lot. A lot of players, especially in NA, have ugly air roll. Like, ugly air roll. It looks terrible, dude. It just is so awful. But we can see here, look at this in touch by Zen. This air roll is very intentional. You can tell by that very slight pause that he does here when he air rolls in this direction. So I'm going to go ahead and slow it down 25%. But look, you see this? That slight pause right there, he wants to get this forward touch here. And as soon as he gets that forward touch, he's going to do a little bit more air roll. This is it. He knows this is a good angle. He's going to make these small little adjustments, and he gets a very good touch. That's all that's necessary. If you find yourself air rolling more than that, you are objectively wrong, and you are being impractical with your air roll. Okay, we need to have more practical air roll overall as a community. It's ugly. Please, can we get rid of this cooks or twist shit that started in like 2017 and everyone was like, that's so cool, air rolling is so cool. You don't look cool playing bad. I'm sorry, you do not look cool playing bad. Anyway, getting back into this, I don't like this from Zen. I like all of this initially. All of this initially is pretty good. I like the way he occupies this space, but he could have played this instead of just driving through here. This is unnecessary. First of all, we don't even have a teammate that can immediately, like, because this naturally would be like a pincher effect where Zen comes in, Nugget comes out, another teammate comes in, right? We have something. Smashy already accomplished that here, so we're kind of just doing this twice. So we're going to end up having to go back here in this situation. This is already really weird, but if Zen would have zoned a little bit and played a little bit of space, he could have gotten over Nugget quite significant, like quite easily here. And if someone's saying like Zen didn't do that because of risk, it's not very risky for him. Not only is there a boost, like discrepancy in this situation where Zen has enough boost to be sustainable in a 50 and continue to play another 50 if he plays it well, but he just also has a significant beat in that situation if he would have slowed there. So it's not too risky. Even if he would have done that, Smashy would have got back in time, and it wouldn't have been immediately a 2v1 because Oski isn't going to be able to play on the ball instantly either. So and we can tell they just kind of have to push back here. This is exactly what just happened. This would probably be a big bang out in this situation. Oski has a lot of options here. He can either take a touch, catch the ball, you know, take it up corner, grab mid boost, take it up corner, off wall. He could take a touch on the back wall and then kind of play out, try to play a little bit of time for his teammate. Ultimately, slowing the ball down here is going to be a really good play. Or he could touch it like off the back ball or the connector, but that's a really stupid option. That shouldn't happen in this situation. So oh, it did happen in this situation. So what we're gonna see is that Smashy is gonna get to this touch before a Nugget, which is something that Oski should have known in this situation. And so and now he's getting punished for his decision as well. He's gonna get demoed by Zen here, and the ball's in the net. Yeah, you know, you can't do that. You have to play pacing for your team. You can't just jump up and then just do whatever the fuck you want, which is kind of what Oski did in that situation. He had the boost. He had the strong positioning. He had space. There was just no need to be doing all of that. In this situation, I don't really disagree with what Zen is doing. He's initially playing an offensive option. He's still safe here. He can still zone this. We want to let a Smashy get back, so I don't disagree with this at all. Smashy probably be the first one to go. We can already see Smashy is starting to go here. I don't think Smashy gets a damn thing in this situation, so he could have waited a bit more. Like, I don't see the need in him jumping low boost right there. And another thing I was gonna say is he could just leave for Zen. That is also another possibility. Like, if he doesn't feel like he's gonna get something comfortable in this situation, he could leave for Zen. That's a completely reasonable option. I like this. This is a really good challenge so far. Nothing wrong with that. Immediately just trying to get some speed. Want to get a beat on Nugget. Don't want to let Nugget get anything here. Don't want to slow down here either necessarily, because we don't want to get pinched in this corner. Immediately we get a lot of field progression out of this, which is really good. I like this. This is fucking perfect. This is perfect. Zen is going to be in a perfect position after this. This is literally what needs to happen. Just fucking slow down. Just slow down. I see some players, they would have already been so fucking deep in their corner maybe, or maybe they're like pushed up all the fucking way up here, and then they're coming out, and then they're coming in, and they're like, I'm forcing. This is the stupid shit ever. It's so stupid. I wish us as a community could get rid of this. We're trying, you know, whatever. But look at this. You can't make it easier than that. You literally can't make it easier than that. Like him slowing puts himself in such a good position to be able to go for this. He's gonna play a 50, but it's like, God, now he's gonna be able to play like pacing for his team. If Smashy was in a better position, he would have had a better option there. But that was really well played. I like that a lot. Smashy either going to let Oski play this into corner into a Zen, or Smashy cuts here. You know, either one could happen. Okay, you know, that works. Really high touch up here by Zen. This is really well played. I like this. Look at this air roll. Beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. This is perfect. This is the exact amount of air roll necessary. Like, this is the most practical air roll I've seen in a minute. You know, I think Nupo as well has really practical air roll, but this is fucking great. Like, if you don't look like that, you're objectively wrong. You're just air rolling wrong. Like, if you're doing all these extra fucking spins and shit, you just look stupid. I'm sorry. You really do look stupid. Because you're not doing anything practical. You don't look cool either. This is bad. Yeah, I already knew that was going to end bad. So Smashy is doing some weird shit here, first of all, I should mention. But regardless of Smashy doing that weird shit, Smashy is still right there. So there's no reason in Zen going in here. Yeah, no. I think Zen maybe saw that pop-up, but that pop-up is so obvious as well. I think Smashy just playing this would have been the significantly better option. You know, naturally we can talk about if Zen would have executed correctly, he could have gotten that. But also if Smashy would have just jumped up, that whole thing is prevented. Zen doesn't have to use his positioning. Zen doesn't need to use his boost. Like, he's more sustainable. I mean, there's just so many benefits to Smashy going versus the Gen. I love this. Look at this. Immediately, once again, not doing too much. We're playing two options here. We're playing the low. If Oski wants to go low here, it doesn't fucking matter, because Zen isn't full committing boost up. He's hovering in a central position where he can cover either or, right? So if Oski wants to go low, Zen could still cover it. If Oski wants to go high, Zen can either disengage right now after forcing him high into his teammate that's going to be on connector / backboard, or he can, you know, commit his boost higher in this situation and be able to go up for it. You know, either one of those are going to be really, and you can tell that's exactly what happens. He's able to come in, get that low option. That was really well played. Go ahead, Zen immediately coming up here on the wall. This is fine. I like this really high bang out. This is going to make Nugget really awkward in this situation. We'll go ahead and see how he plays out of it. Zen, this is not smart though. Zen could have zoned this area. I really doubt Zen gets to this, honestly. Nugget's just so close. I think Zen just trolling a little bit there, because it was very obviously like that would have been closer. I like this pop up. Probably gonna go for a solo play here. Might have to end up playing a 50 because it is quite far. We'll see how he can mech out of it in this situation though. Oh, he's gonna end up getting a reset. This is really good. I like that. Still gonna have to end up pushing out of it, but that's really well played. I like that a lot. Zen coming out, it's dodging around a little bit. I like this though. Could play an outlet here for Smashy. This could be a pass out to Zen in this situation, so that could be really good. I like that Zen is playing over here in this space. It is a pass out to Zen. Zen going to try to go for a light touch here. We can tell based off of how little boost he's using. He's disengaging a lot of that boost, trying to conserve his momentum so they can get a really light touch here. Able to get this really light touch. I like that a lot. Probably going to play over Oski here instead of go for a reset. I feel like some players would go for a reset in this situation, but it's very clear that Oski had already jumped. So Zen's just going to try and get a touch over him. He does get a touch over him in the situation, so that's really good. Nugget wants to play time because of that beat from his teammate. You
wants to let his teammate get down, get a little bit of boost. Also wants to play off a corner. Also doesn't want to hit it out because the Smashy is going to be coming in here. We can see because Nugget did that, Smashy having to turn around a little bit in the situation because his teammate also needs to get out a little bit. So they find themselves in a neutral situation. Smashy could go for a cut in this situation. That's fine. I like that a lot. We are going to have it looks like, okay, Oski already jumped too. You could hear him jump right there. So Zen probably going to pick up on that in this situation. You can see he plays it a little bit slower, ends up getting past him here. Just going to go for a play. Going to have to do a reset here in a second. Really good reset. Oh, he wants to get this touch over him. This is not going to work though, because it's just not low enough and he doesn't have enough boost to do it. But that's a really good idea. That could be really good in that situation. I like that a lot. Zen coming back here. Just going to grab pads. You can notice he knows where all these fucking pads are without looking. You should already be at this point in your gameplay, truthfully. Now granted, Zen's played a fuck ton of games. This guy plays so many games, but I like this. He can play a little bit closer here. Like it's not fully like what's going to come out from those two, but it's still not a bad idea to play a little bit in that area. I mean, Zen has a lot of boost, so he can be sustainable. He can path to other options very easily and very quickly in a lot of the situations. This is so big. You know, most people would miss this. I'd say most people in an analysis would miss this. But in this situation, the reason that Zen uses his camera here is because he immediately notices that he can't go for that touch, right? So he wants to gauge distance and see how much time he has to play. Not only that, he wants to see like if a Nugget is going to be able to have that option, and if so, where that option is going to go. So checking for that space here is really, really good, and it allows him to play in a really solid positioning where he has a lot of defensive options. He can come across, save a goal. He can come across, go up backboard in this situation. He can pull more up connector here. There's a lot of good things that he can do. Did I just say a rot? I just can't fucking speak in these videos. I'm not gonna lie. I messed up MB the other day. I said MJ. I said one piece instead of two piece. I'm cooked. Like, I'm cooked, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I like this a lot. Once again, this is a decent position for Zen. Like, this is a good position. He can kind of sit, and you can tell it could have been favorable. He immediately plays that defensive option, which is fine. He's going to be able to try. Oh, yeah, he's trying to do a cut. He might get them out here. But that's a really good cut, even though there is going to be a Nugget that can play immediately. Nugget ended up taking time here instead of playing for field progression immediately, which is fine. I like that he's playing a little bit of pacing here. Probably get something favorable over Smashy because of it. Yeah, really good. I like this a lot. When you set yourself up effectively for an offensive play, your offensive plays are going to typically be better. So I like that a lot. Zen, really well played here, just avoiding this. This is a really hard situation, but typically you need to stay somewhat stationary and then trying to make a quick movement beforehand. This was really close, and then Zen also playing it to a good area. If Zen would have played it to the left here, actually an Oski would have been able to get there before a Smashy. So because Zen plays it in this area, Smashy's actually going to be able to be a reasonable support option here, and Oski can't immediately do anything. Yeah, which you can see immediately happens, right? So that's really, really well played by Zen. Zen, you know, playing a little bit fast initially, but we can see the slow. This slow is so good. Nugget, I don't know what the fuck Nugget just did, but really well played by Zen. Nugget is kind of trolling in that situation, but really, really good game from Zen. Honestly, Zen is looking really good. I like a lot of the way that he's playing right now. Hopefully, you guys got a lot of information from this video. I'm planning on doing more 2v2 stuff. I'm planning on doing lower rank stuff. You know, I want to do a whole series on each of the ranks. I want to do mechanical tutorials. I have a lot of stuff in plan for you guys. But if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.